I forgot to brag about my amazing pick'ems chat, where I had Talon and Team Secret winning. The Talon one wasn't for the memes. Team Secret was half and half, I will admit. 50% memes, 50% believable. Welcome, YouTube. It's Chobra, and we are now getting ready for playoffs. It's finally top 8 time here in VCT Pacific. Now, we are going to extend playoffs a little bit because what they've done with the schedule is just two match days each week. That way, you never have some weird situation where you're like dropping down from uppers and immediately playing, you know, your redemption match in the lower bracket, etc. So it is going to be spread out a little bit, but I kind of like that. I kind of like how the schedule's looking. And of course, we are down to 8 teams. So let's jump in. Let's talk about where I think these teams lie in their power ratings, right? Their power rankings, each team. How strong do I expect them to be going into playoffs? And then we'll do our pick'ems. So let's jump right in. Okay, the bracket. Here we go. Here we go, chat. This one's going to be spicy. Talon versus Genji. I'm really big on Talon. And if there was ever a time for Talon to break the win-loss pattern, it's this match. I don't expect Genji to really diversify like comps and defaults that much. Obviously, they're going to have good mid-rounding. Munchkin's still a good IGL. They've grown a lot. Foxy9, you can't just barrel over him anymore, at least not as easily. They're all very strong players. So I'm not saying that it's like, oh, anti them once and you're good to go. But I don't expect them to change drastically. Whereas I do expect Talon to be able to do that. And I think if you have the same patterns, that's where Talon thrives the most, in my opinion. If their opponent has the same patterns, if they have the same foundations that they've always had, like that's the type of thing that Talon, that's, first of all, as we've seen time and time again, like that's something that Frost loves to try to abuse. But also under that, Cruz, I think, has gotten very good at countering that. But the fact that he was the one who wanted to use that comp against T1, stuff like that, it tells me that his brain is now in that wavelength. And I think it works well against Genji. I don't expect it to be easy, but it's time for the pattern to be broken. And also, I mean, listen, they finally won their first map and won the series as well. So it's like, it's pattern breaking time. So I am on the Talon train. DRX versus T1. Oh. All right, right now, current gut check. Gut check. DRX or T1? T1. There is, honestly, I actually think it's more likely that they drop but then wake up. But I mean, that's also a gut feeling. So T1 over DRX. But this one's a real 50-50 in my head. I think a lot of people should favor DRX, actually, from what we've seen so far, if you're only looking at the most recent matches. But I mean, I think, you know, they're either banning the icebox or just overall, I think they're going to have more adjustments to all of their comps. Like, even if you're not flipping the entire comp, like slight adjustments on the defaults and how the util is changed and all of that. Like, they just haven't changed much, to be very fair. They haven't changed how they play much coming into stage 1, which I think is totally fair given their schedule. So I think playoffs is where they will do that, as they started showing, right? They said even, you know, in the very last match, they were like, against Talon, they were like, yeah, well, you know, we wanted to get more reps in with the icebox. You know, this was a good chance for us to really see if what we're thinking is working, things like that. That's what I expected. So I think playoffs is where they will turn that up to 11. Let's go with bottom. Let's go with the bottom first. So obviously I believe in Nongshim. I think 2-week break. You know, it's either Talon or Genji. You know exactly what to expect. I think you can be prepped for this. Now, Genji will have a week to recoup as well, by the way. So I guess maybe this is going to make it confusing for people, but basically Pacific's going to do these matches and these matches, the upper matches in the next week, and then we go to lower bracket. So the teams that drop down will have a week to recuperate, but again, I don't think Genji is going to change anything drastically in that week, so I think the prep that Nongshim does ahead of time still is valid. You know, I think it'd be scarier if Talon dropped down, but I think Genji is doable. It's tough, though, because the comps they play are actually pretty good against the kind of W gaming style, the Nongshim spicy style. So this is not an easy match. None of these matches. I'm going to say that like 50 times this video. But I believe Nongshim can do it. I believe Nongshim can do it. And if they can, this is like to me the most important match. This is to me the most important match. DRX versus PaperX. I'm sorry, PaperX. I do not believe in the tracks. I think you've run out. The tariffs have hit. You're out of whatever materials you're using to build those, Sliggy. It's just not happening. I mean, Sliggy's just content farming you all. Don't fall into the trap. I like where PaperX is going with it, but DRX is literally built to play against this style, okay? It's gonna get derailed. It's gonna get derailed. I apologize. It's because here's the thing. Either of these teams, I think, is actually literally built to combat this, and it's full of players that have played against this. And like, if DRX is playing non-double duelists, I think literally they are going to know exactly how to play against PaperX, who have gone back to more of their old stuff of just what they're good at individually. So I think DRX wins this one. Okay, so going into back to the upper bracket, which will happen in the first weekend. Boom versus Talon. Oh man, Boom versus Talon. Listen, I hate to tell you. But what did I say? Since the week before, I kept saying Boom, the scariest thing for Boom would be either T1 or Talon, right? I don't think the style of anti that Boom has been doing is going to be that valuable against either of those teams. And like, even just from one match to the next match, I don't know if that really means much for you. I think we're sending Talon. I think this is literally one of the scariest possible outcomes that could have happened for Boom. And I think Talon's going to show up. Now, am I giving a bit of they're going to go on a run energy here for Talon? Yes, because they've never done this before. Like, I know what I'm doing. They've never been this consistent. But, no, but I think they've unlocked a level. I really do. The way they were playing against T1. Now I know I said that about GE week 1, and they're not even in the playoffs, so I could be wrong. But I think this is a scary aspect for Boom. I think this is just going to turn into a mud fest, in which case Talon wins, is what I'm saying. Right? I don't think you're going to be able to play with the same attitude and prep. Now, T1 versus RRQ, listen, I know people are going to say that there's a pattern here, but, like, I don't think RRQ is winning this rematch. I really don't. I mean, I really don't. Well, okay, this is assuming, right, if T1 beat DRX, that means they look better. Like, that my belief is true. Because if my belief of T1 looking, fresh with fresh ideas, if that didn't happen, they wouldn't beat DRX. But if that did happen, that's how they beat DRX, which would imply that I think, like, it's not like RRQ had the easiest game against T1. So I think T1 goes back. I think they're making it back to a Masters. This is a lot of faith in both T1 and Talon. It is. But hey, that's what power ratings are for, because that's my power rating about these teams. And I actually believe in this case that those power ratings actually mean quite a bit. So we have T1 going. Now this, I did not do this for the sake, but what did I always say? Nongshim always looks good against the Indonesian teams. So I think they're beating RQ. And also, we've already beaten RQ. Easy work. No big deal. I also, listen, I think Nongshim is going to be giga hungry for this one. RQ, the nightmares of VCT past will be haunting them as they get knocked down in a close match against T1 in the first week, and they'll come into the second weekend and it'll continue to loom over them on the stage, and then they'll have a bit of a breakdown. No, I don't think they'll have a breakdown. I mean, I think any Nongshim game is always going to be a 50-50 at this point, just because obviously they're kind of the underdogs in every single matchup. To me, but listen, I will say this. No matter who the opponent is, whether it's DRX, T1, whether it's Nongshim or whoever, if RQ loses this match, I think they lose lower round 2. I really do. And, like, is this reading into things? Yes, I am. But the way they played against Team Secret, that tells me that if you lose this match, you're not winning the lower rank. Like, I don't see you bouncing back from it. So it's not just because it's Nongshim. I think if RQ loses this one, they lose this one. So they need to win this one, in my opinion. Which obviously you're going to be very desperate to do so because you only need to win one. Boom versus DRX. Ooh, this one I think we give to Boom. I do, actually. I didn't think about how this would pan out, but it would be a Boom DRX rematch. But I think Boom wins this because now first of all, because it's DRX, you're not expecting crazy changes within the bracket. We've already seen that they're going back to a more like thorough all-around style. You will have had VODs to look at. And I actually think Boom wins this. If it's GRX, I think Boom wins this in the lower bracket. Yeah. Boom's so good. Honestly, this is more of a punt for Talon, right? It's not that I think Boom loses this. I think Talon just wins this, but yeah. But I think Boom is so good. And again, I think this is like a very good setup because they'll have a week to prep for this anyway. So it's not like they have to get knocked down and play again and like it is in some brackets. If that happened, maybe, it's a 50-50. But I actually think this one maybe is a bit of a 60-40 again. All right, and then it's Talon T1, Nongshim, Boom. Let's go with the upper final first. So they're both in Toronto. This is for seeding, etc. It's still a best of 3. I mean, if this is the matchup at this point, Talon, I don't think we keep going on a run. Also, I think Buzz will be so mad if this rematch I think Buzz will literally just explode on the stage. He'll just turn into a fireball. He will be so eager to play this match. So, yeah, and because here's the thing is that, yeah, like, it's not even that, like, Frost doesn't care about seeding or whatever, but I do agree that Talon, like, they'll pull out everything they need to, all the cards they need to make it to Toronto. After that, it's, like, reset anyway for them. So, I'm going to go with T1 here. Nongshim, Boom. Listen, is Boom looking like the better team right now? Yes. But RRQ was absolutely the better team against Team Secret. Sometimes the matches don't always favor the team that looks better. I'm just saying, right? That's not how Valorant works. That's just not how it works. They haven't lost yet. So, Nongshim's going to Toronto over Boom. Which, man, Boom not going to Toronto is kind of not great, though. Is there a way? I mean, if Boom wins this, then they would go on. Then they would go to Toronto. And if Talon dropped, I think DRX would actually win. Do I think Boom can beat Talon? Because Boom not going to Toronto does feel very wrong. It does feel so wrong. Let's finish this bracket first, though. Talon versus Nongshim in a best of 5. This is... I'm just going to say it straight up. This is not a good BO5. This is not a clean BO5. This ain't a good BO5. I don't even know. I can't even necessarily confidently raise Nongshim's hand in this one. This one's a coin flipper. I want to say Talon probably favored with the current map pool. The current map pool is just not good for Nongshim. I think Nongshim struggles in a best of 5 in the current map pool no matter what. But if I don't know what to pick, I gotta pick Nongshim because Talon's not paying me. So I gotta go with Nongshim. And then T1 wins. No matter who moves on, T1 would win if these were the final 3. In fact, if T1's in the grand finals, I think no matter who moves on, T1 wins the grand finals. No, you know what? Chat, it's time for Talon to stop being inconsistent. It is time. No, I really think we saw an inkling of this, and I know I said this about GE, and it didn't pan out, but, like, I said it about FPX, and they weren't even in the playoffs. Like, I know, it's both of those teams. But I really think what we saw, like the content and context of their game against T1, even though that doesn't change my power rating of T1, I really think it's like a, you know, like a 0.5 version, like a 1.5, 2.5 version of Talon. I really do. So I think Talon beats Boom. I just think this is a nightmare matchup for Boom. I really do. Now, the only thing would be if Talon underestimates Boom like they did with RQ. Then they would lose. But hopefully Frost learned his lesson after kind of underestimating RQ. And also, hopefully, the players learned their lesson of, like, we shouldn't just do whatever we want and look really silly and look like we don't understand Valorant. All right, chat. Yes, this makes it look like, I mean, this looks bad, right? This looks bad for the Indonesian teams. I feel bad because I think Boom really deserves to go. I think they do. They looked really good. Like, it was not a fluke at all. I just think this first matchup is rough. I just think it's really, really rough. I just think it's really, really rough. I think there is a high, like, I'm just going to say this I say this even as a Nongshim content creator. I think there is a higher chance that Boom wins this match versus Nongshim than this match against Talon, right? So, like, this I would just be like, I mean, it would suck because obviously I'm part of Nongshim, but this I would be more surprised about. This would mean more to me, like, of, like, really, really rating Boom ever higher. Like, I already rate them very high, but if they, well, maybe Talon, well, it could also just mean that Talon fumbles, but that would be Talon losing, not Boom winning. So, I just think this matchup is not good for Boom. That's where I stand on it. Sorry, Indonesian fans. Listen, it's not my fault RQ didn't look good against Team Secret. It's not my fault that RQ was rank 1 when they had to play Team Secret. None of that is on me, but all I gotta say is doesn't look like I was the problem, does it? All right, that's gonna be it for this pick'ems. It's a little crazy. All the more red teams are going to Toronto, so Pacific is no longer a blue region. It is a red region, and we are going to be sending it to Toronto. We'll see how this pans out over the next couple of weeks. If you would love to see how it pans out alongside me, whether you're on my side or you want to see if maybe just some freak chance that I'm wrong, then you can join our live watch parties both on YouTube and Twitch. So definitely join us there. And of course, if you are enjoying the videos that we're putting up, please follow the channel and subscribe to the channel rather, and leave a like and a comment down below. So let me know what you think. And that's going to be it for this one. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.